Wikipedia files, Wikipedia files, Wikipedia files. All right.
So now I want to move on to some of the other things you have here, and we really need to work on Sledgehammer. I need more information to put into the Sledgehammer because there's nothing there. But you also have.
You predated Airplane,
Yeah, okay.
right? I mean, it was the template for a lot of the Airplane movies and what were the other sort of
Naked
all that
Gun
stuff.
and
You know, we were the
Top
first.
Secret,
We got there first.
And
And as a matter of fact, I think that was actually my idea to have his car all shot up, and then
That's good.
I think Ace Ventura did that,
so,
right?
yeah, I think, yeah.
we were before that too.
You were before Ace Ventura.
yeah. We were like the very first television show at all.
That's what I remember.
Came from us.
I don't remember there ever being even a broadcast
Nothing.
before Sledgehammer.
Nothing.
What I would like to see is,
there you go.
did you have a huge bidding war for your services after Sledgehammer? Where it's like Hollywood, like David Rasche is the
Here's
guy?
what happened. What happened was, I mean, if you really want to know,
Yeah, I do wanna know.
When I was in Chicago, one of the things I did in Chicago was I was in divinity school, and one of the things we talked about in divinity school was how awful television was, and how it's like the worst thing that ever happened, and like all these terrible shows, and it's just like eating away at the fabric of the moral, and so I had a lot of conflict. So actually, what happened was that right after we wrapped, let's see, we finished, and then only a few months later, I got a call to go to New York and go on Broadway and do David Mamet, do Speed the Plow.
Wow.
So maybe it was a mistake, I don't know, but I did not take advantage of any of the heat that followed. But listen to this, you have to remember, Sledgehammer, at the time when Sledgehammer was in 1987, it would be, because it was 86 to 87, there were 61 shows on television. Sledgehammer was number 60. Okay? The only thing that saved us from scraping our asses on the very gravel of the bottom was Tracy Ullman, and I'm forever indebted to her
She was
for
61.
softening, the blow between our asses.
That's
and
good to know.
Sandpaper
That's
on
good
the
to
bottom
know.
of the barrel. So, but what happened was then they made this deal, and so we were always very low. However, it was huge around the world.
Well,
Absolutely huge everywhere. I mean, like the guy that parks my car from Uruguay or like that, so I saw you.
or the web guy in Chicago. Who's a huge
Everywhere.
fan.
No, but these are people like in Ireland. It was huge. I just was in Germany. It was where else? Australia, New Zealand. In New Zealand, there were 300 people, 3 million people, and 2 million of them watched Sledgehammer.
Wow.
The whole thing shut down.
So we could put that in here. The Sledgehammer was
absolutely
huge
true.
in New Zealand.
All around the world.
What
In Sarajevo, in the Balkans. Huge.
Did you do a lot of post Sledgehammer, going to Comic Cons, that kind of thing? Yeah.
I didn't. Well, here's what happened. I mean, once again, it was we were like but for Tracy Ullman. So when it was over, it was completely ignored. I mean, we never. I mean, even now, whenever they do like a retrospective on TV cop shows, Sledgehammer's never included. Never. It is totally. This country, it did not hit. I mean, it's hitting now with guys like you,
Right.
but it never.
You can thank me when this goes
but
viral.
Good guys
Yeah,
like
right.
you. But it never did, except around the world. In every other country, it was much, much bigger. I think part of it is because, America is not known for a sense of irony, and all the sort of misogynistic stuff.
Yeah.
The people in other countries said, it's funny because they
It's
understood.
ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But here it's like, well, that doesn't seem right at all. For him to say stuff like that, what the hell? The people in Illinois are saying, I don't know about that.
Where was Sidekicks on the list? I mean, was that like right above you
Don't
at
know.
like
Didn't
58?
follow Sidekicks.
What do you mean you didn't follow Sidekicks?
I
It's
thought
Sidekicks
Marita-
and Sledgehammer.
I thought
Like, that's-
Marita was a brand of tools. That's what I thought. No, it's Marita. Okay. No, I get confused with that.
Well, there's plenty more. I mean, we could go forever, but you got to get going. The one I liked the most here is you had a minor role in the movie Cobra, which was
You know what it was?
classic.
I was an innocent bystander.
You were?
Yeah, I got killed early on. I'll tell you a story about that. There was this guy named George Cosmatos, who was a Greek guy who directed it, and very early on, I was walking. I was after this girl, and the whole thing where they had this like cult of axes.
Yeah, right.
Oh, what again? Oh, a cult of axes. Oh, what? So someone said, that's a good idea. Can you imagine that? It was a meeting. It's like with Tanya Harding,
Yeah.
right? So we said, well, what should we do to Nancy Kerrigan? So we said, let's break her knees with a pipe. Good idea.
Good idea.
No, that's
Yes, and,
perfect.
right.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
Oh my God.
That was, and it says
Anyway,
here. It's,
so I got
yeah,
killed early.
You got killed
and,
early.
And all I remember was, we went blah blah blah. Well, first of all, so we did the scene, and there's all kinds of shooting, bang bang bang, the scripts blowing up, blah 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 blah, smoke, noise, and they cut. And we got down, and all I hear is Cosmato screaming, "You died with your leg up! You don't die with your leg up!" And my leg was, I don't know, I fell down. It was like, it was too crazy.
Come on, you're just
Yeah.
trying to get the laugh out of it.
I didn't
Cobra
know.
was no laugh.
I went limp, but my leg happened to be up. I know, that's true. That's what he thought.
The only other question I have for you on the Wikipedia page is it says a very small thing that you played Captain Piet in the NPR version of Empire Strikes Back.
That is true.
That is true, and that's all it says. It doesn't give you any background to that project or to anything, which I think.
You know what? It was a small role. Do you want me to say that? It was
Well,
a tiny little.
And because I was going to ask, 'cause Piet in Empire Strikes Back isn't big. He's
No.
bigger in Star Wars, right?
Yes.
And then in Empire Strikes Back,
So
so that
you
had to
shamed
be.
me and
It
you
was a huge
pointed out
ego
the
blow.
fact.
It was an ego blow to
That's
you, wasn't
right.
it? It changed your
That's
career. It was an ego blow to you.
I thought it would be the thing that would put me over the top,
And
it wasn't.
And it wasn't. Did you? Were
Should
you?
we talk about In the Loop?
Yeah. Well, you're going to talk about In the Loop on it.
But you got to see this movie.
I do want to
You
see the
will
movie. Yeah.
love this. It is so damn funny.
It's
I'm
not even on your
kidding.
Wikipedia page yet.
Well, it'll get there.
So, well, you got to start getting your crew to put that in there because
I
the
have
movie's
no
out,
crew.
right? You have no crew.
That's the other thing. That should be Wikipedia should have that in there. I have no clue.
There it is. That's
I
what
have
we're
no
putting.
one manning the Wikipedia lines.
That's good. I think we finally got our piece that we'll put into the Wikipedia page that David Rasche has no crew.
No, I
All
don't
right,
have a
David.
crew.
It was a pleasure
Nice
to meet
talking
you
to you.
and being a part of Wikipedia Files. Thank you very much.
Not at all.
And thank you for visiting ChicagoPublicRadio.org. It said that you also were on All My Children.
Wikipedia.